Good morning to ya. Thursday, May 2nd, 2024. DJ Wonder Chrissy here at Migrant Mayhem, part of Land Cruiser Midwest. Gonna talk about the Fed rate. Got the bell. Got the sound machine here too. Let's get going with the show. Let me bring the music down because that's what the DJ does. Brings the music down, folks. There we go. There we go. So yesterday was a big day on the stock market. If you're not a stock market watcher, you probably didn't notice the stock market was up 500 points, only to become crashing down after our buddy Jerome Powell of the Fed made a move that I think everyone was expecting. He thinks that by doing nothing, he's doing more. And I'm not so sure about that. He thinks that inflation is almost tamed, but I'm not so sure. So let's go to the experts and see what they have to say about the Fed's most recent decision to keep rates where they're at until the next meeting. Let's see here. Got to turn the sound up here, folks.
That is the Fed's decision on interest rates. The federal funds rate currently sitting at the highest level that we've seen in more than 2 decades. Wall Street eager for any hints of when we will see that first rate cut. Yahoo Finance's Jennifer Schomburger has the latest on that. Jen.
Good morning, Shauna. Fed officials reconvening just moments ago for the second day of their 2-day policy meeting here in Washington, where they are widely expected to hold rates steady in the range of 5.25% to 5.5% on the back of higher than expected inflation data in the first quarter. Fed watchers have been...
Not to mention that miserable GDP at 1.6. One more quarter of that, folks, and we are officially in a recession. Let's see them try to squirm out of this.
Pushing back expectations for the timing of rate cuts as questions are starting to...
You could put the DJ Wonder Chrissy column on here. I think it's 0. I think we're done with rate cuts for this year. There will be no rate cuts, but don't tell Wall Street, because Wall Street will have a tizzy. You'll see the stock market plummet if it ever gets out that we're not getting a rate cut, folks.
Shift from when the central bank will start to cut rates to whether the Fed will cut rates at all this year. Analysts now expecting only about 1 to 2 cuts this year. Now, there will be no new interest rate projections this meeting, and few changes are expected to the policy statement. So all eyes will be on Fed Chair Jay Powell in his press conference for just how much...
Well, they're being quiet. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to spook anyone. They don't want to get anyone upset. But I'm telling you, it really needs to be done. We really need to raise it one more time to crush inflation. And he just doesn't want to do that. So we're gonna have to live with inflation a little bit longer until somebody grows a pair, right? Until Jerome grows a pair and does what he's supposed to do and squash inflation, folks.
The central bank's outlook for inflation has shifted, and what that means for when and how many rate cuts we may see this year. Powell is likely to hold the line, maintaining an easing bias, but reiterate his message from 2 weeks ago that it will take, quote, longer than expected to achieve the confidence needed.
Rates longer or higher longer is the mantra. That's what he keeps going back to. Rates higher for longer, which means less rate cuts.
For inflation to come back down to the central bank's 2% target, essentially signaling that rates will be held higher for longer. Now, specific things to look for. One, whether Powell reiterates the Fed will cut rates, quote, at some point this year, or whether he dials that back. Also, whether he says the March interest rate projections are outdated, if he's worried inflation is stalling or watching for signs of reacceleration of inflation, and whether he now thinks pain is needed to bring inflation back down to target. Guys, this decision coming down at 2 p.m. this afternoon, followed by Fed Chair Powell's press conference at 2:30.
So there you go. There's the guy who has the most control over the stock market, and he showed it yesterday. It was up 500 points. Like, everything was up, and then if you look at the charts yesterday, everything was up superbly. And then when his meeting and decision came out, it just went down like a falling rock. So he's gonna see what he can do about it. He's hoping. But you know, I've said this before. Hope is not a strategy, folks. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is a wish. Hope is a wish, and it makes my stomach queasy seeing that our people that are controlling the Fed are resorting to hope. So keep your eye on inflation, because if it starts going up from where it's at now, it's like 3.7. They're trying to get it to 2.0, which is an acceptable amount of inflation which we had for many years prior to the last couple of years. I'm here to tell you, you want to know why there's inflation? It's government spending. It's all these government programs that printed money and just spent money that we didn't have. It's the reason we're in debt, right? We're 34 heading to $35 trillion in debt. It's not. I'm here to tell you, it's not sustainable. If you talk to any economist, they'll tell you it's not sustainable. But we continue to spend. That is the problem. Ring the cash register. So another month of holding it firm. I'm still getting CDs through Charles Schwab at 5.3, 5.35. Although the ones offering 5.35, some of those banks were kind of shaky. If you've watched this channel before, you know that I use Charles Schwab as a source of my CDs, and I also use WeissRatings.com to check on the financial stability of these banks. That's WEISS ratings.com. It's free, folks. You can check out any credit union or bank. And right now, in general, there's like 5,000 banks and 5,000 credit unions. You can expect 600 to 800 of those banks or credit unions, so 1,200 to 1,600 banks that are not doing very well and have some bad things on their books that are showing people that they've got some issues. So I suggest you go out to WeissRatings.com and you check your bank and make sure that the banks that you're using are in great shape, because there's a lot of them that are not. We're seeing a lot. Not only are we seeing banks go under. Last Friday, Republic First Bank in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York area, 32 branch offices closed and was sold to Fulton Bank in Pennsylvania. I forget where in Pennsylvania the Fulton Bank is, but they were sold to Fulton Bank. And there's more and more banks. They try to do the sale or merger path first, and when all else fails, they end up just going broke and letting the Fed clean up the mess. So you may not see a lot of bank failures this year, but be on the lookout. There's a lot of mergers going on. If you just watch the financial news, you'll see those mergers left and right, which I guess is good, but just making bigger banks, and hopefully someone in some of these banks has their financial head on straight. But you never know. You never know. Maybe I'll show you a video where, let's see, I was in Schaumburg yesterday, and I saw some, let's see, here it is. Let's get this going for you.
Everything was great. We're at Pops.
Yeah, let's get this up and running. I was in Schaumburg, where there's a lot of commercial real estate. Although I got the wrong video here. How did I get that? I'll show you this one too. Saw a lot of commercial real estate, and the building I was in actually was just sold, and it's like a 5 or 6 story building. They're going to turn it into condos or apartments, and try that. It's right on the south edge of Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, but Schaumburg's got a lot of commercial real estate that is distressed, and I'll give you a glimpse of some of that. I mean, I could just stand in a parking lot and point to the buildings. There's so many of them. So let's look at the Pops video here. This is our latest video, foodie video that we did to Pops. They're in the south suburbs of Chicago. They make an awesome Polish and an awesome beef sandwich, folks. So give them a try if you're in the area.
Norwood, Illinois, folks. Check it out all over the south suburbs. Excellent beef, and how's the Polish? Same. Awesome. Oh, yeah, that's a big Polish too. It's not skimpy. Here you go, the baby beef. Just enough for me tonight. We'll be having some dinner later at Harris. We'll head to Harris Joliet, folks. See if we can win. So we spin to win. Right? How many spins to win?
One spin away.
One spin. All right.
One good spin.
Give me a finger dance.
One good spin.
All right. This is a Q Slots guy. Check it out. Great channel. Everything was.
So there's that. Let's bring up the commercial real estate. Here it is. We got it now. A little windy yesterday.
1699.
Woodfield Drive, 1699 Woodfield Drive, folks.
On the south side of Woodfield Mall. And this building is pretty much empty. They would like to turn it into apartments. The ground floor has a couple dental offices, and that's it. And over there is Schaumburg Towers, which was just sold at like a huge discount, maybe like $100 million. Real estate around here is having some problems. Even over here, Schaumburg Corporate Center, keys were turned in on that. Beautiful looking property. Both of these beautiful looking properties, but the keys were turned in. We're here in Schaumburg, close to Woodfield, and looking at distressed real estate. DJ Wonder Chrissy for Land Cruiser Midwest, folks.
So there you go. I mean, you don't have to go very far in the suburbs to find distressed real estate. I suggest, if you're interested, I suggest you look into some, follow the real estate websites, the Crane Chicago Business or the Real Deal, or is there like Coin something? There's several out there that by city you'll be able to see distressed real estate and measure how bad it is. And it's getting bad in Chicago. It's happening downtown. It's happening in the suburbs. It's happening all over, guys. It's happening all over. So it's not a good thing because it's banks. And sometimes, I looked at one I saw in downtown Chicago. It was a $300 million property, or $350 million property that had now turned into a $150 million property in a span of 5 years. But there was like 5 different organizations who had money in that deal. There was Bank of America, PNC, there was Goldman Sachs, and there was a pension fund that were part of the deal and gonna take a haircut. So it's not just one-to-one when it comes to these buildings and the financing. Sometimes there's multiple entities in on these finances, and when they all go down, they all take a haircut. So there you go. Be careful of the commercial real estate bubble, housing bubble too. I mean, there's no inventory in the housing market in my area of the woods. They're starting to build some spec homes, but that's about it. Not a lot of people moving. A lot of people that can afford to move, folks. That's the problem. So thanks for joining the DJ as we talked a little finance, talked a little commercial real estate, talked about the Fed, and I hope you've got your money invested safely. But we're not giving investment advice. We're just telling you what we're doing. As always, man, SD Bullion, great place to get some assets if you need some. I can't speak highly enough of SD Bullion, and look at some of the stuff that they can send you in the mail. So check it out. They got a great website, great company, and great products. If you're into precious metals, that's where you can go. So it's DJ Wonder, Chrissy. Let's play some music as we head out. Thanks for joining. I'm happy for this guitar. Certainly, certainly, certainly. Rock it out, folks. See ya.